everyone. I've been getting so many requests from people wanting to look at the behind the scenes of the Nisa Qamar series, and so I put together this little video clip so that we can have a good conversation about it. As an avid reader myself from a young age, it only made sense that eventually I would get to write this amazing series. It feels like it had dropped out of a dream into my lap. And when I first started writing the Nisa Qamar series, I think it really was about exploring a new dimension for my genres as a writer. And the Nisa Qamar series was born out of that thirst for fun and adventure and doing something fresh, and also writing for an audience as the kind of material that I would have looked for as a young South African growing up, and the adventures that really made sense, that were tangible to what was going on around us. So I read a lot of stuff, and we continue to read from coming from other countries, the Enid Blytons, the Beatrix Potters, the Harry Potter kind of series by J.K. Rowling, and various others that are available right now. But proudly South African stories need to be told. We have such a rich and textured history of the oral tradition and the written tradition, and not enough writing from our youth and writing for our youth. Nisa Qamar takes that on in such a fun and adventurous way, and especially as an adventure in the first book in the series, The Master of Gineville, where it's really about the triumph of good versus evil. You're introduced to 10-year-old Nisa living in Johannesburg, going to a school, and dealing with the issues that children her age deal with in very interesting ways, and how she starts off as a very unassuming character and turns out to be the hero of the first book in the series, and really was about showing how young people have the potential to make a difference, which also leads us into the second book in the series, which is the Rainbow Healers Society, where Nisa and a group of friends have an awakened social consciousness. They can see what's going on around them, and they want to make a difference, whether it's about changing the nature of poverty around them, or creating safe spaces for friends together, or dealing with bullying in the classroom and at home, where a sibling might be experiencing something and not know how to deal with it. And so they really find empowering ways in the Rainbow Healer Society, and very exciting and fun and child-centric ways of changing what happens in the classroom and what happens around them, and how they can make a difference. And they show you and me how to make a difference in the community around you by engaging green spaces on rooftops, and having yoga classes, or having homework groups or study groups together, and that sort of thing. So if you want to know more, the Rainbow Healer Society is the place to be. Recently, earlier this year, we launched The Legend of Kothar, which is the third book in the series. This book was shortlisted for the Sanlam Youth Prize for 2019 as a manuscript, and then we published it in February 2020, to add to the collection and to show you how Nisa has grown. She's now 12 years old in the series, engaging a new adventure where she goes on a class trip to Cape Town and has an amazing adventure through the legend of Kothar. There are many things about writing a series like this that both excite and challenge a writer like me, who's been writing for adults all this time, having to draw back to my own childhood and the kind of books that I read, and the kind of books that I yearned for as a South African child, because there are certain things about being South African, and the language that we use, and the spaces that we engage in, and the places that we go to, that are quite unique. And it's that uniqueness that the Nisa Qamar series captures and documents. And for me, it was very much about delving into the childhood things that we did, the exchange of platters of food, the kind of putting Mandy with a toothpick instead of having the cones that we use right now, and the simple innocence of childhood captured in a way that many futuristic texts may or may not really engage. But the big thing about the story is that Nisa Qamar and the series that follows through her adventures is proudly South African. And I hope that you're reading, I hope that you're enjoying the story, and please write back to us and tell us what you'd like to see in next adventures that Nisa Qamar engages and goes through. Happy reading, and please write back.